I've been working on a long-term and fairly large blasting project. Or at least I was until the Montana monsoon season started and I can't drill underwater. But I got a new drill bit in the mail today and I thought this would be a good day to test it out. These are what I have been using.
In the video, I repeatedly refer to these as Bauer bits. They're not. They're made by a company called Warrior, and they come in a pack of 3 various sizes. They're sold in Harbor Freight, and they're just your basic Chinese-made bit.
And I have had some pretty haphazard luck with them. These are the ones that aren't currently destroyed. You can see the crack formed right there. This carbide wing here is just about to break off and come out. And I found that I can drive them for a long ways, but once I lose more than half the carbide, there's nothing left. So all those drills combined there cost about the same as this one right here. This is a Bosch Speed-X 7/8. It promises a 20% faster cut rate, which I assume is compared to, you know, just the 2-cutter, your standard bits. It's got a fairly aggressive and what I like, very chunky, thick carbide. So we're going to be drilling about 18 inches deep today, and it's going to be in a hard gray quartzite rock. Much harder, I imagine, than any of these manufacturers ever intended their products to be used. And that's what we've accomplished so far. Plus a few other rocks we've already bucketed down the hill. The drill is going to be this 10 Bauer. It's been quite a workhorse. It got damaged, but she's still chugging. And we're going to be running it today off of a generator. I've got my vacuum cleaner and my whole suction unit put together. And we're going to start off with a hole right up here. I need to drill a few along this edge. I might drill a few down in there. I hope to put 5 or 6 holes on the drill so far today. I will be using cooling. I don't have water injection for the drill bits. I don't do that. I just do usually 12 and 4. So I'll drill for 12 seconds and I'll plunge the bit into a tub of water for 4. I'm sure nothing good happens when they start to turn blue. So we want to try very hard to avoid that. With luck, it won't be as big a problem with this new Bosch bit as it was with the old ones. Wow. Wow. Okay, so someone who has drilled dozens, probably not 100 holes yet, but dozens and dozens and dozens of holes. I guess that's more than 100. Math. That was fast. That was super fast. And it stayed very cold. There is some chipping on the outer wings, I think. Right there. I think the carbide is flaked off of those just a little. Now what I'll do is I'll swap out to one of these. I'll find the 7/8, which matches that Bosch. I'll get it figured out here in a sec. I'll find the 7/8 and we'll run a second drill hole so you can see in real time. We'll find out exactly how long the other drills last. I can tell you right now that was super fast. Could just be this is a soft chunk of rock. It has been very variable in terms of how difficult it is to drill. If it looks like it's a hard rock, or a soft rock rather, then I'll go and I'll drill on that ledge up there, because that's been a bugger. I have the bit installed. Let's go and drill another hole just downhill, same rock. We'll have a good idea of the comparison between the two.
Right here it was going so much slower, I actually decided I would go back and drill alongside the original hole just to make sure I didn't have some sort of freakishly hard and freakishly soft rock. As it would turn out, nada. It was exactly the same. It was just that much slower. I'm going to go ahead and put the brakes on it right there, because this is where the camera ran out of memory. I will say, however, that this was 11 minutes elapsed time. More than double, and that bit is less than halfway down. Like I said, the Bosch Speed is impressive.
It took so long, I ran out of camera memory. That was brutal. Now I will say that the bits are drilling slightly different holes, slightly different size holes, so that I can't actually get this one. So it's not a totally fair test in that this is removing a little bit more material. But let me tell you, it doesn't matter. My last 7/8 from that company twisted off at the shank. So I can't use it. I'm going to put the Bosch bit in, and I'm going to go down and do the third of my 3 patterns for blasting down in there, and we'll see. We'll know very, very quickly once more just how much faster the Bosch actually is. Then we're going to go over there and let's race the Bosch against the 3/4 bit. I have 2 remaining 3/4 bits. So let's see how it fares against those. So that will be a smaller drill bit. My gut feeling, based on doing this lots and lots and lots and lots, my gut feeling is that this thing is going to cook those bits. It's going to be amazing. Let's go ahead and chuck up one more time, try that Bosch again, and see if my initial impressions remain solid. Once again, the speed of that is crazy. And you're talking to a guy that has hand drilled and blasted all the rock you see there and all the rock you see here. All of it. It's crazy. You have no idea how much of my life I would have back right now had I started with that. Well, let's see if we can break it. I got a rock face right there. We should have 2 holes in that one. And man, do I really want to compare it against a 3/4 inch drill? A race versus a 3/4. There's a brand new 3/4. It's never even been in a hole. A brand new 3/4. I don't typically like 3/4 because it's not a big enough hole for me when it comes to blasting, but why not? Why not? Let's compare the two bad boys. Let's see what they do when with camera memory this time. Let's see the 7/8 versus the 3/4. That should leave the 3/4 with a tremendous advantage. I'm still putting my money on the Bosch. Well, that was a pretty impressive test. So even though the hole is substantially larger, it drilled faster. Now then, let's check up the 7/8 Bosch Speed-X and start some production. Let's go and I'll drill a triple hole for blasting up there, and I can drill at least 3 if not 6 holes for blasting right up there, and just see how well she actually does. Again, this is really more than these bits are designed to handle. This rock is super hard, much harder than concrete. So you should know that whatever results I get are going to translate to being even faster for you, and the longevity is going to be longer for you as well. Let's set up the time lapse and get to drilling.
More or less, I made the decision to drill to destruction. I'm just going to use the bit, just going to go up the hill, drilling until it starts to get sticky. Usually once it starts to get sticky, it means that the carbide cheek plates are sort of wearing down and beginning to jam. And I wanted to know just how many holes I could get out of the Bosch if I drove it like a rented mule, just beat on the thing until it couldn't take any more, just to see what would happen.
The result: I just drilled 15 full depth holes, 13 of them in a continuous run. Now I can say the drill has started to get a little sticky. Usually what that means is the carbide on the sides is starting to wear off, so the hole itself is actually physically getting smaller. That's my impression of what's going on, and it seems to be what happens to the other drills. It's getting a little bit sticky, but if you look at that tip, you can see a fair bit of wear right in through there, where this is no longer a flat plane. It appears that maybe we had a chip or two which has broken away. These are both rounded at the corners, and these have just barely started to round off. None of the carbide appears to be loose. There's no cracking. The end of the gun is a little blued now. Despite my best efforts to keep it cool. Doesn't matter what the damage you see. I have never had a drill bit go this long. In fact, I've never had a drill bit drill 3 holes without showing serious carbide flaking. So this is already amazing. And this thing still cuts. Alright, it started to slow down a little bit, but once more, I'm doing something that it was never designed to do. And I have to say that the Speed-X by Bosch, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it compared to the other bits that I've run. It's unlikely you'll ever do as much damage, as much abuse to one of these bits as I am here. And without a doubt, this bit won't survive the remainder of what I've got to do with it. But I can tell you right now, as soon as I get home, I'm going to get another one on order because I am very, very happy. And pretty soon, there's going to be a foundation in that hole. And I will have backed that rock edge up just like I backed it up over there. And we'll swim. No, hopefully we'll come up with something with that. Once more, I know what I have been speaking. That entire pile used to be in that hole right down there, and it's all been done with that same Bauer red drill, and 15 so far different SDS plus drill bits. 15 of them is what I've gone through. This thing has already outlasted at least 3. It's amazing, and the cutting speed is really nice. So trust me, from those of us out here at the River House, your money ahead. Absolute money ahead.